Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. As you know, after almost 12 long years, a new installment in the Tomodachi Life series was just revealed in the latest Nintendo Direct. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream was announced and will be heading to Nintendo Switch in 2026. So given how hyped we are for this new game, I thought it'd be fun to break down every location, shop and facility that has been confirmed so far, and throw in a little speculation on what each one will likely be used for. So if you're a Tomodachi Life fan, be sure to leave a like as it truly helps out a bunch, and let's jump straight in.
Did you want to talk?
Fresh Kingdom. Fresh Kingdom can be found in what we're calling the shopping district to the north stretch of the island and is inspired and stylized as a classic shopping cart filled with typical food items such as bread and milk amongst others. It also has a vegetable stand out the front that we get to see from a couple of angles in the trailer. Anyway, this store is of course a supermarket, at least based on the design, and is most likely the same supermarket facility seen in the original. This is also known as the Food Mart in US versions of the game. Like the supermarket in the original, this facility or shop will likely see a wide variety of food items that can of course be purchased for Miis. There's also a good chance we'll see Miis working here too, just like they used to. Be sure to comment below what kind of foods you'd love to buy for your Miis. MNN. Next up we have MNN, which based on what we can see in the trailer is of course a giant news tower, given we can see TV screens displaying today's news. I'm guessing MNN stands for Me News Network, and as already seen in the trailer will be the center point of all Me news around the island. Again, this facility is returning from the original and its purpose is likely to broadcast news and announce significant milestones. Presumably we'll have to unlock each of the facilities as we play, at which point MNN will probably broadcast the announcement. Assuming it will serve the same purpose as in the past, we'll probably get some very random and hilarious news reports too. Anyway, I'm sure Nintendo have expanded features like this, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the news tower offer even more activities. Quick Build. Quick Build can also be found along the shopping district to the north and is recognizable by the giant construction hat on its roof. Assuming many of these shops and buildings are inspired by other facilities from previous versions of Tomodachi Life, Quick Build appears to be something entirely new and a facility or service exclusive to Living the Dream. We can of course see the Quick Build logo is a hand moving a block, and there appears to be some construction materials located around the outside too. This leads us to believe this is likely a landscaping or construction facility. Of course we don't have too much details at this point, but the island is looking very grid-like, so it's possible Quick Build will be a way to manipulate the layout and even expand the area. There's a chance this island could even be turned into a city, and this could be the facility that does it. Right Price. Here we have Right Price, which is more of a traditional store but stylized with a giant set of scales. I didn't notice it at first, but this building does have some stained glass windows too, which, assuming it's taken elements from previous games, means this store is likely the pawn shop. In previous games, the pawn shop was essentially a secondhand store where you could go specifically to sell treasures and items. Treasures are basically in-game items obtained when playing, either as prizes or through gift giving, and have actually been seen in the trailer already. The scene where two Miis are fighting, Miis can be seen throwing treasures at each other. So assuming this Right Price is in fact the pawn shop, it's likely this will be the place to sell treasures obtained in Living the Dream. My guess though is that treasures will play a slightly more significant role this time around. T&C Reno. At the end of the shopping district, as we call it, we have T&C Reno, which again is another store we get to see from a variety of angles in the reveal trailer alone. It's pretty obvious this facility is called T&C Reno as it's displayed on signs and posters all around the building. Taking a closer look at the building, we can see the first floor has a large glass exterior, allowing us to see inside. Here we get to see what appears to be a showroom highlighting a house interior. This store is likely based on a similar store from the original called Interiors that shares the glass exterior design. This store specifically allowed players to purchase all new interiors for their Miis. So knowing what we know, I think it's a pretty safe bet that Reno stands for renovation, and this will be the go-to facility to renovate Mii's beach homes. Again, I imagine the whole decorating aspect of Tomodachi Life living the dream will be much more extensive than in previous versions of the game and has probably taken a leaf out of New Horizons' playbook. Tomoria. Located away from the shopping area, we have Tomoria, which is found in the southwest corner of the Tomodachi Island. This building has a large red roof and is surrounded by hedging and planters as seen in a couple of different angles in the trailer. There also appears to be a sign right outside too, making this a cafe. Out of all the facilities we've seen so far, this is the only one, with maybe the exception of the news tower, that looks exactly like its original counterpart. The cafe in the original looks almost identical to this, so it's pretty clear Tomoria is this cafe and will likely be a hotspot for the Miis to meet up, hang out, eat food, and a wide variety of other activities, I'm sure. The cafe in the original, for example, is where Miis would meet to chat with friends, or even throw a pity party if a Mii is feeling down. Poor thing. Where and Where. Moving along the shopping district now, we have Where and Where, which is a genius name and can be found to the right of the news tower. Like the other facilities, this building is stylized as an everyday object, in this case a shirt. It's a fairly large store and even has mannequins or posters displayed in the windows. Going purely by the name and appearance of this store, this is probably a clothing store for the Miis and players to shop in. Again, this is likely a modern version of the store in the original that was simply called Clothing, and you guessed it, sold clothing. Assuming this follows suit, pun absolutely intended, I imagine this facility will offer a wide variety of clothing items that rotate in and out just as you'd expect. Again, I imagine the mechanics of dressing Miis has changed significantly based on the success of games like New Horizons, so I think this store will play a much bigger role too. Beach. Now, moving away from actual brick and mortar facilities, we have two more known locations that have already been shown off in the trailer, starting with the beach. Whilst not a facility, the beach that's found along the southern shore is a known location in previous Tomodachi games and is often the setting of Miis expressing their love for one another, amongst other things. This was an area in Tomodachi Life that was unlocked from the beginning of the game, and again here, this appears to be a fairly accessible area in Living the Dream, so I imagine this sandy beach will be there from the beginning and play a significant role in activities and getting to know Miis. The beach area will also no doubt be the setting of some Mii relationships too. Fountain. Next up we have the fountain, which is of course the most central point of the Tomodachi Island. This fountain is also made up of a grassy area and what appears to be a path or track running around the outside. Like the beach, the fountain will likely be a Mii hotspot, and if the original location is anything to go by, will probably host events, activities and other minigames. For example, the rap battles were held here in Tomodachi Life, as well as a morning market where random islanders will sell discounted stuff. It's pretty cool, and I imagine this will be a prime location in Living the Dream too. And that's not including all the other areas that cutscenes and other activities will likely be set in.
Did you want to talk?
So from the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream reveal trailer, we already know of 7 facilities, with 6 of them likely inspired by previous versions, as well as 2 outside locations that will be me hotspots for the lack of a better term. Of course, there are a bunch of other facilities available in previous versions of Tomodachi Life, so I imagine this trailer is barely scratching the surface, and that many more will be unlocked and built as we play and expand the Tomodachi Island. If you made it to this point in the video, be sure to post shop in the comments and include what specific shop or building you'd like to see added to the island in the future. I'd love to know. Thank you so much to the Patreon and channel members. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.